very good evening. It has been an eventful day as the National Auditor gave his report on nuke safety, labeling the regulatory body as weak and warning of a Chernobyl-like disaster if this issue is not addressed by the government. In another scene, at the Parliament, the BJP created ruckus for the third day in a row asking the Prime Minister's resignation. With the usually docile Sonia Gandhi asking her MPs to hit back, there has been much happening in the National Front. I'll fill you on more on all of that in the next half hour. You're watching Headlines Now with me, Deepthi. Top heads first. Sonia Gandhi sends a tough message to her MPs asking them not to be defensive and attack the opposition over the coal scam. Jayalalitha writes to Manmohan Singh again over the Kaveri dispute and asks him to direct Karnataka to release water. Latest CAG report highlights the need to address nuclear safety by the Parliament to prevent Fukushima tribe disaster. Social networking site Twitter agrees to block 6 fake accounts which were misrepresenting Prime Minister Manmohan Singh. Meanwhile, the men in blue are in the driver's seat against the Kiwis, backed by a brilliant century by Pujara. And BCCI objects to a new Sahara commercial featuring Team India. Sahara to add an edited video from today. News in detail. Pressing her demand for convening the Kaveri River Authority meeting, Tamil Nadu Chief Minister J. Jayalalitha asked Prime Minister Manmohan Singh to direct Karnataka to release water to the state. Referring to her earlier letter dated May 18th, she told the Prime Minister in a fresh communication today that her previous request for urgent need for convening a meeting of the CRA to decide certain specific issues was yet to be acceded to. She also complained that while Karnataka had not released any water from its reservoirs during the irrigation year of 2012-2013, it had opened the reservoir for its own irrigation. Moving on, the National Auditor's report on India's nuclear safety has raised concerns over a weak regulatory body. In its report on the Atomic Safety Regulatory Board's performance audit, the Auditor General has warned of Fukushima or a Chernobyl-type disaster if the nuclear safety issue is not addressed by the government. Apparently, the AERB, which supervises its safety issues at India's 22 running nuclear plants, it has no power to make rules, enforce compliance or impose penalty in cases of nuclear safety oversight. The auditor also pulled up the nuclear regulator for failing to prepare any safety policy for the country even after 3 decades of its existence. Meanwhile, thanking the Auditor General for the timely report on performance audit on the activities of Atomic Energy Regulatory Board, PMAIN has demanded for the immediate resignation of its chairman SS Bajaj. They also asked for the complete disbanding of the plant. The PMAIN said that CAG report aptly sums up that AERB is on a very tenuous ground. Tamil Nadu Chief Minister J. Jayalalitha advised the State Electricity Board officials to take necessary steps to start power generation in 3 thermal power projects. Ms. Jayalalitha chaired a review meeting of the ongoing power projects in a bid to put an end to the power crisis in the state. In the meeting, she advised the officials to expedite the project works and take necessary steps to start power production at the earliest in these 3 projects. A local court ordered issue of summons to DMK chief M. Karunanidhi, his son and party treasurer M.K. Stalin, besides publishers and editors of 2 English dailies in various defamation cases filed by the Jayalalitha government. It also ordered issue of summons to Stalin and Selvam on the same day in another case in connection with former's criticism on the government filing defamation cases against newspapers. On another complaint, it ordered the MDK founder Vijay Kant and a printer and a publisher of another daily and its editor to appear before it on October 15 in connection with an article with the DMDK leader's criticism of the Chief Minister. Moving on, at least 8 people were killed in a collision involving a Tamil Nadu State Corporation bus and a lorry at Rajakulam in Kanchipuram. Several people sustained injuries in the mishap, after which traffic movement also was affected on the busy Chennai-Bangalore highway. Our crime correspondent Salim has more on this.
The government bus was on its way from Hosur to Chennai and it met with an accident. Sources from the police department do tell us that 7 people were killed in the accident. Their bodies have been taken to the Kanchipuram Government Hospital. The 7 people include 4 men, 2 women and 1 child. Their bodies have been taken to the government hospital in Kanchipuram, and meanwhile police do say that 12 people have been injured, out of which 6 people have been rushed to the Government General Hospital in Chennai, 5 people to the Kanjipuram Government Hospital and 1 to the Vellore Hospital. Sources do tell us that the driver is safe and the police are conducting investigation with the driver to ascertain the cause of accident.
Moving on to national politics, after a cacophonous BJP paralyzed Parliament for the third day in a row, demanding the Prime Minister's resignation over what is being called the Colgate controversy, the Congress President Sonia Gandhi sent out a tough message to her MPs asking them not to be defensive and to attack. The BJP says that it will accept nothing less than the resignation of Dr. Manmohan Singh for allegedly allowing private firms to gain thousands of crores because they were sold hugely underpriced coal fields. It has so far said no to the Congress-led government's offer that the Prime Minister will make a statement on the matter which can be debated on the floor of the Parliament. The BJP has said that it will not allow the Parliament to get to work till Dr. Singh accepts responsibility for the scandal and quits, a possibility shot down by the ruling Congress as preposterous. Today, both the houses were adjourned within minutes.
We hope every day that the opposition will come back and join issue with us on the reports that have come. After all, they are the ones who have said that these reports are significant and these reports point in a particular direction. Well, if that is so, we want to give a reply that will go both to the opposition and to the country, and we would like that to be aired. We like that to be televised. We'd like everybody to know. We have nothing to hide whatsoever. We have a compelling case, and we believe that they've really shot themselves in the foot. Having started screaming before they read the reports, now they suddenly realize that these reports will push them into a corner. We work to rule. We work according to our conscience. If we make a mistake, we are generous enough and broad-minded enough and broad-shouldered enough to admit to our mistakes, and mistakes can be made. But where there are no mistakes, just simply because someone's holding a gun to your head, you should accept that there's a mistake. It's just absolutely unacceptable in parliamentary practice.
अरे हम प्रधानमंत्री जी का इस्तीफा मांग रहे हैं भ्रष्टाचार के आरोप में, और जिस तरह से देश में लूटा जा रहा है, इस सरकार को जाने के लिए हम कह रहे हैं.
A meeting of leaders of political parties called by Rajya Sabha Chairman Hamid Ansari to break the deadlock in the House over coal block allocation issue remained inconclusive. Ansari, who called the meeting in his chamber after the ruckus in Rajya Sabha for the third day over CAG report on coal block allocation, heard the views of political leaders. Apparently, the BJP leaders did not attend the meeting. Meanwhile, Lok Sabha Speaker Meera Kumar has also told that she will convene a meeting on this issue soon. Amid talks of an early elections prompted by BJP's walkout from the Joint Parliamentary Committee meet yesterday, opposition leaders have now denied reports of an en masse resignation from the Parliament, adding that the move will only be considered if they are pushed to the brink.
एनडीए का जो बाइकआउट का फैसला है वो यूनानिमस है. और इसमें जिस तरह से ऑफ द रिकॉर्ड और अपने मन से कई तरह की जो खबरें दी जा रही है कि बीजेपी की राय ये है और जेडीयू की राय ये है, ये बिल्कुल गलत बात है.
बीजेपी के सामूहिक इस्तीफे की खबरें आ रही हैं, उसको कैसे देखें?
एक भी इस्तीफा नहीं देगा. इन लोगों को देखा है जेपी मूवमेंट में कहाँ खड़े हुए हमें आप लोग. इस्तीफा दे के जाए अपना आंदोलन करे. एक भी आए तो हमको बताना. एक भी इस्तीफा नहीं करेगा. कहाँ फजूला बात में बहस में पड़े हुए.
एनडीए बुला रही है, आप लोगों को भी बुलाया है, यूपीए के सहयोगियों को बुलाया बातचीत करने के लिए.
हम कभी जा सकते हैं. बीजेपी बुलाएगा, बीजेपी आरएसएस के एजेंडा पर हम काम करेंगे.
The BJP has explained in detail why 5 of its members walked out of a parliamentary meeting on the telecom or the 2G scam. Apparently, 5 senior BJP members of the parliament left the Joint Parliamentary Committee meeting in protest because the panel had not agreed to summon the Prime Minister and the Finance Minister. They also said that by referring to the committee as a kangaroo court, Congress members of the same committee had vitiated the atmosphere.
It is important for me to explain why we want the PM and Mr. Chidambaram to appear before the JPC. Mr. Jaswant Singh was summoned by the CBI. He was examined by the CBI. but the CBI will not question anybody else. They have no questions to ask of Mr. Chidambaram. The game plan of the ruling parties is very clear. The game plan is to scuttle this probe as they had scuttled the PSC. You remember what happened in the PSC. The whole report was ready and the PSC was not allowed to adopt that report. And unfortunately, this Parliament of India has been a mute witness to what happened in the PSC. It was obscene behavior on the part of the ruling party members.
However, Congress criticized BJP for constantly forcing adjournments in the parliament and called the walkout as a deliberate ploy. Congress leader Dipender Singh Hooda termed the walkout as unfortunate.
It's really unfortunate that the members of the BJP actually staged a walkout, and once they walked out of the JPC, they went to the media, which is against the code of ethics of the JPC, and leveled absolutely false allegations against some of the Congress members, including me. I completely deny whatever the members of the BJP have accused. In fact, it's rather unfortunate, and it's rather ironical that the party that destroyed 2 parliament sessions in asking for a JPC now wants to vitiate the environment of the JPC.
और वो कितना दुर्भाग्यपूर्ण है कि उसको कंगारू कोर्ट अगर बीजेपी के वरिष्ठ सांसदगण कहें और उस संसदीय समिति से वॉकआउट करें जेपीसी से, जिसके लिए एक पूरा सत्र नहीं चलने दिए हैं, तो इससे साफ है कि अब उनको संसदीय परंपराओं में आस्था नहीं रह गई है। और लगता यह भी है कि ये केवल राजनीतिक दबाव या पॉलिटिकल माइलेज के लिए इस तरह का कदम उठा रहे हैं, नहीं तो जो देश की सबसे सर्वोच्च जनता की चुनी हुई संस्था है पार्लियामेंट, और उसकी जो कमेटी है, स्थायी समितियां हैं, जिसका इतना महत्व है, अगर उससे वॉकआउट किया है तो ये निश्चित तौर से दुर्भाग्यपूर्ण है, निंदनीय है।
Alleging that the Congress and the BJP were hand in glove on the coal block allocation issue, this erstwhile team Anna has announced Girao of the residences of Prime Minister Manmohan Singh and BJP chief Nitin Gadkari. Earlier, Team Anna had decided to hold the first meeting of the preparatory committee this Sunday to chalk out the ways for formation of a political party. However, now this meeting is likely to take place in the first week of September as they are yet to finalize the names.
ये सामने आया है कि किस तरह से बीजेपी, कांग्रेस, बीजू जनता दल, सीपीएम सभी पार्टियां कोयले के घोटाले में शामिल हैं, सभी पार्टियां इस भ्रष्टाचार में शामिल हैं। देश के सामने किस तरह से संसद को जो बंद किया जा रहा है, ये इन सभी पार्टियों की साठगांठ से बंद किया जा रहा है। पहले से इनकी सेटिंग हो जाती है कि बीजेपी शोर करेगी और कांग्रेस के राजीव शुक्ला जी जाके डिप्टी स्पीकर के कान में कहेंगे कि अब संसद बंद कर दो। कोई संसद नहीं चलने देना चाहता, तो संसदीय जनतंत्र लगभग खत्म हो चुका है और ये बीजेपी और कांग्रेस की मिली भगत से इनकी तानाशाही और डिक्टेटरशिप सामने आ रही है।
More news and updates will follow after a short break. Stay with us.